Now we shall consider what is Collard's law of independent migration of ions. What is the statement of this law? Now, at infinite dilution, remember Collard studied different strong electrolytes and he gave the statement at infinite dilution. I have explained you what is infinite dilution. At infinite dilution, each ion of the electrolyte moves. Migration means moves independently of its co-ion. Here, its migration is independent of its co-ion and its contribution towards the molar conductivity of the electrolyte. Its contribution towards the molar conductivity of the electrolyte is same irrespective of the nature of the co-ion, irrespective of the nature of the co-ion with which it is associated. Remember all these words, I will explain you here. At infinite dilution, what is infinite dilution? After this, there will not be change in the molar conductivity of the electrolyte. That concentration is called as infinite dilution or zero concentration. Now, in this electrolyte, there are two ions, cations and anions. Positively charged ions are called as cations. Negatively charged ions are called as anions. Each ion, cation or anion, migrates, moves independently, whatever may be its co-ion, but it is independent, it is free to move, and its contribution towards the molar conductivity of the electrolyte, that is, molar conductivity of the electrolyte is due to the molar conductivity of the cation or anion, and it does not depend upon the nature of the co-ion, whatever may be its co-ion with which it is associated. It does not depend upon the molar conductivity of the ion. Remember here, the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of any ion is not depending upon which ion is associated with it. For example, you can say that suppose we have Na plus ion. Now, the molar conductivity of Na plus ion, you can represent this as lambda 0 Na plus. This is called as molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Na plus ion. This is constant. This is constant. How? It cannot change with which it is associated. For example, if you take the solution of NaOH, you can take the solution of NaCl, you can take the solution of CS3COONA, or you can take the solution containing Na plus ions. All these electrolytes contain Na plus ions. Now, when ionization takes place, Na plus ion is in contact with OH minus ion. In this, Na plus ion is in contact with Cl minus ion. In this solution, Na plus ion is in contact with CS3COO minus ions. But whatever may be its co-ion, remember here, what is co-ion? Here co-ion of Na plus is OH minus, co-ion of Na plus is Cl minus, like this. Whatever may be its co-ion, but the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Na plus ion is constant. It is not depending upon the co-ion and it migrates independently. This is called as Collard's law of independent migration of ions. For example, you can say that the molar conductivity of the electrolyte at infinite dilution, which is denoted by lambda 0, it will be due to the cations and anions present in that electrolyte, and it is due to the molar conductivity of cation, that is denoted by lambda 0 of cation, that is plus, and here suppose the number of cations are n plus n minus the number of anions into lambda 0 of anion. that is molar conductivity at infinite dilution, which is denoted by lambda 0. Lambda 0 is equal to n plus into lambda 0 plus plus n minus into lambda 0 minus. What is each term? Lambda 0 is the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of the electrolyte. Here, this electrolyte contains the number of cations n plus. N plus are the number of cations, and what is lambda 0 plus? It is the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of each cation, plus n minus, that is the number of anions, into lambda 0 minus means the molar conductivity of at infinite dilution of each anion. The values of n plus and n minus depends upon how the electrolyte gets ionized. You know how you have to write the ionization of any electrolyte. For example, suppose we have NaOH, n plus is equal to 1, n minus is equal to 1, like this. Here the coefficient, stoichiometric coefficient of the cation or anion is represented by n plus or n minus. So remember, here by using this Collard's law, you can calculate the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of any strong electrolyte by using the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of cation plus molar conductivity at infinite dilution of anion. Now we shall see which are the applications of this Collard's law or Collard's theory. Now how Collard's theory is used, which are the applications of Collard's theory or Collard's law. Remember, here by using Collard's law, here the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of any strong electrolyte can be calculated if we know the molar conductivity of at infinite dilution of the cation or molar conductivity at infinite dilution of the anion by using this formula. Now you can calculate molar conductivity at infinite dilution of any electrolyte by using this formula. For example, suppose we have to determine the molar conductivity of at infinite dilution of NaCl. How it can be obtained? It can be obtained if you know the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Na plus ions and molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Cl minus ions. How you can obtain this? You can obtain this by using the graph. You can draw the graph and you can obtain the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of NaCl. But here, if we know molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Na plus ion from any electrolyte and molar conductivity of infinite dilution of Cl minus by using any electrolyte, you can determine what is the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of NaCl. Like this, molar conductivity at infinite dilution of BaOH twice, you can determine by using this equation. It will be lambda 0 at infinite dilution of Ba plus plus ions plus, how it will ionize Ba plus 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 2 into lambda 0 OH minus. Remember, here BaOH twice, this is a strong electrolyte. The molar conductivity of BaOH twice can be obtained if we know the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Ba plus plus ions and OH minus ions. This is the first application. Now the second and most important application is by using this theory, you can determine the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of any weak electrolyte. Remember, this is important, and on this point we have to solve the problems also. I have said you the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of weak electrolyte cannot be determined by experiments because we have obtained the curve and the curve cannot be extrapolated and you can't obtain the value experimentally, and it can be determined or it can be calculated by using Collard's law. How? if we know the values of molar conductivity at infinite dilution for strong electrolytes, then the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of any weak electrolyte can be calculated. For example, suppose we have CS3COOH. Now CS3COOH is weak acid, that is, it is a weak electrolyte. Now its molar conductivity at infinite dilution cannot be determined. Now it can be calculated by using Collard's theory or Collard's law. Here you can determine the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of HCl, because HCl is strong electrolyte. Molar conductivity at infinite dilution of NaCl, and molar conductivity at infinite dilution of CS3COONA. Now remember here, molar conductivity of at infinite dilution of HCl you can calculate. Molar conductivity at infinite dilution of NaCl you can calculate, and molar conductivity at infinite dilution of CS3CONA can be determined by using here the law, that is strong all these are the strong electrolytes. Now remember here, suppose molar conductivity at infinite dilution of HCl is due to molar conductivity at infinite dilution of H plus ions and molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Cl minus ions. Molar conductivity of CS3COONA, that is sodium acetate, it is a salt, it is a strong electrolyte. It is due to the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of CS3COO minus ions plus molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Na plus ions. Minus here, molar conductivity of NaCl is due to molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Na plus ions plus molar conductivity at infinite dilution of Cl minus ions. Here this value is subtracted, and therefore here this will become negative. Now here Cl minus ions and minus Cl minus ions, they will be cancelled. Here Na plus ions and Na plus ions, they will be cancelled. So what will happen here? Here the remaining part is molar conductivity at infinite dilution of H plus ions plus molar conductivity at infinite dilution of CS3COO minus. And here the cation and anion will contribute towards the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of CS3COOH. That is, CS3COOH is a weak electrolyte. You can't determine experimentally the value of molar conductivity at infinite dilution of this electrolyte, but it can be calculated by using Collard's law. If we know the value of molar conductivity at infinite dilution for the strong electrolytes containing these ions, and you have to choose which strong electrolytes are used, and then you can determine by using this formula, that is the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of CS3COOH is equal to molar conductivity at infinite dilution of HCl plus molar conductivity at infinite dilution of CS3COONA minus molar conductivity at infinite dilution of NaCl. By using this formula, you can calculate molar conductivity at infinite dilution of CS3COOH. Like this, for any weak electrolyte, the associated strong electrolytes are taken. The molar conductivity at infinite dilution of these electrolytes are calculated, and by using the formula, we can determine for weak electrolytes what is the molar conductivity at infinite dilutions. Now see what is the relation between molar conductivity and degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte. degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte, it is denoted by alpha. How it is related with molar conductivity? Now you know that alpha, that is degree of ionization, increases with dilution. Again, molar conductivity also increases with dilution. Alpha is the extent of ionization. Molar conductivity also measures the extent of ionization. And here for weak electrolytes, what is the relation between alpha and molar conductivity? It can be given by using the formula alpha is equal to lambda c upon lambda 0. Remember this relation. It is the ratio of lambda c and lambda 0. What is lambda c? It is molar conductivity at any concentration or at concentration c. Molar conductivity at concentration c, and molar conductivity at infinite dilution, it is denoted by lambda 0. And so remember that here the ratio of these two values is is used to determine value of alpha. Alpha explains the extent of ionization. This also can explain the extent of ionization at this concentration. What is the extent of ionization? What is the ratio of these two? It will give you the value of alpha. So remember here, alpha is equal to lambda c upon lambda 0. By using this, we can apply the Ostwald dilution law for molar conductivity also. Now in the next video, we will use, or we shall solve different problems by using Collatz law.